The Knicks may have finally found their backup big man, and Julius Randle is the topic of discussion in a Bleacher Report mock trade. All that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel from Knicks Digest. And before I get into today's video, I want to talk about our sponsor, Southern New Hampshire University. Have you ever felt uninspired or exhausted at work? Have you ever thought about a career in sports management? You'll learn about the business and economics of sports management principles and how to gather and analyze data. You'll be able to tap into SNHU's network of graduates working in sports-related organizations. You'll have the opportunity to take advantage of an internship or experiential learning course with the field. Your courses are taught by faculty with real-world experience. Make sure you go to snhu.edu/Knicks Digest to see if you qualify for SNHU's sports management program. So for our first topic of the day, we're going to be talking about Clint Capela. So Ian Begley on his YouTube show, Clint Capela, Atlanta was one big that the Knicks checked in on. I don't know how far talks went. I don't know if they're active at this very moment, but they did check in on Clint Capela. Listen, man, for the last few videos, I've been talking about how one of the biggest gaping holes that the Knicks have in their roster is a backup big man. Unfortunately, right now, I think it's safe to say that Mitchell Robinson, I don't think we can say that he's reliable. The talk around the internet, the talk around the NBA media is kind of saying that Mitchell Robinson is an injury-prone player. In one of the videos that I did do some research. In only 2 of the 6 seasons, he's played 40 games and below. Those 2 seasons, he played 31 games, and one of those seasons was this season that just happened. So I'm just saying, with the trade of Mikal Bridges, with the re-signing of OG Anunoby, it looks like Leon Rose and Worldwide West, it looks like they're putting all their chips into the table. So we need a backup big to solidify our rotation. And in order to go up against the monsters of the Eastern Conference, we're pretty much one monster, the Boston Celtics, we're going to need a reliable big man rotation. Mitchell Robinson, if he's able to stay healthy, yeah, is he athletic enough? Is he quick enough to stay in front of Kristaps Porzingis? Is he strong enough to stay in front of Al Horford? Absolutely. But then when Mitchell Robinson goes to the bench, who are we going to rely on? And Clint Capela is actually not a bad backup. If we take a look at some of his numbers for this past season, he played in 73 games, averaged 11.5 points, 10.6 rebounds, 1.2 assists, converting 57.1% from the field, no three-pointers, thank God, 63.1% from free throw. That we could definitely work on. But when you talk about a backup big man, Isaiah Hartenstein leaving us and going to OKC Thunder, like, that's just a really big hole that we need to, that's a really big hole, that's a really big gap that we need to fill in. And Clint Capela doesn't have the offensive capabilities that Isaiah Hartenstein has. But what Clint Capela is able to do, he's an active, athletic, mobile big that's able to especially hit Jalen Brunson with the pick and rolls. Like Clint Capela, when he was with Houston and James Harden during his MVP days, he got contract after contract for James Harden, just calling a pick and roll, Clint Capela rolling to the basket, James Harden throwing an alley-oop. And if we're solely going to be asking Clint Capela just to be an offensive threat, being an alley-oop finisher, then Clint Capela is more than capable of filling in for that job. What Isaiah Hartenstein was able to provide the team that Clint Capela can also fill in the shoes is just being some sort of defensive anchor, being able to alter shots when guards go into the paint and Clint Capela is there to challenge shots. We just need somebody that's going to be able to disturb the rhythm of the opponent's team when Mitchell Robinson is going to be on the bench. And I wanted to take a look into Clint Capela's career and just see the amount of games that he's played over the last few seasons. So last season, the season that just passed, he played 73 games. In the 2022-2023 season, he played 65 games. The season prior to that, 74. The season prior to that, 63. In the 2019-2020 season, he played 39 games. 2018-2019, 67 games. 2017-2018, 74 games. 2016-2017, 65 games. His sophomore season, he played 77 games. His rookie season, he played 12 games. Obviously, he's a rookie. He's just learning the ropes. He's learning the game, the flow of the game, the speed of the game. So he probably didn't play a lot because of his rookie status. He just finished wrapping up his 10th season. So his rookie season, he played 12 games. And the only other season where he played below 45 games was 2019-2020 with 39 games. Every season besides those 2 seasons, it was 60 games and above. We're looking at 65, 74, 73. Like, those are great numbers. If we're a Knicks fan and if we're eyeing Clint Capela, those numbers are definitely going to be jumping out at us because, like I keep saying in this video, Mitchell Robinson is a little bit of an injury-prone player, and we need someone that we're going to be able to rely on. And on top of that, if Mitchell Robinson does go down with an injury, we have someone to back up Mitchell Robinson who's used to being a starter. Right now, I believe he's a starting big for the Atlanta Hawks, so he has a nice chemistry with Trae Young, another player that's able to get Clint Capela some points off of alley-oop plays. Jalen Brunson, I have the utmost confidence that he's going to be able, if Clint Capela, if we do sign him, I have the utmost confidence that Jalen Brunson is going to be able to develop some sort of chemistry where they're going to have an offensive rhythm. So Clint Capela does have experience starting with teams. He started on the Houston Rockets teams where James Harden was the MVP winner. He started with the Atlanta Hawks, like I just said. So he would be coming off the bench, and having a big coming off the bench that's used to being a starter, hopefully Clint Capela would be able to accept that role. And if he's able to accept that role, that would do wonders for our rotation. Okay, so I also want to talk to you about this Bleacher Report mock trade that they had for Julius Randle. So Bleacher Report put out this mock trade between the Mavericks and the Knicks, where the Mavericks would receive Julius Randle and the Knicks would receive PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, Jaden Hardy, 2025 second round pick via Toronto, 2028 second round pick via Miami. Now, if you guys have been a fan of Knicks Digest and all the videos that I put out and Chris put out, one of the things that you guys can definitely call me out on is being a big critiquer of Julius Randle's game. Now, initially, when I looked at this mock trade, I would have been, if this was maybe 2-3 months ago, maybe even the middle of the season, I probably would have said, yo, we need to definitely do this. Because one, Daniel Gafford is one of the most impressive bigs that I've seen in quite some time. Look at what happened with the Dallas Mavericks when they traded for PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. Specifically, Daniel Gafford. They finally had a reliant big, a starting big, who's able to play off of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, finish plays, finish alley-oop plays. Just somebody that they need to demand some sort of respect in the paint. And of course, right now, the biggest gap that we have in our rotation is a backup big for Mitchell Robinson. Now, if Daniel Gafford would be able to accept the role coming off the bench, that's a conversation for a different day. But now looking on this mock trade, I kind of don't want to do it. I really, really want to see what this nucleus core group of Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, Mitchell Robinson. I really want to see what this core group is able to do. I want to see the Knicks organization give this core group at least one season and see how far we can get. I want to see them be able to challenge the Boston Celtics, see if we're able to take them to a 6 or 7 game Eastern Conference Finals. Because guys, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I think if everybody ends up healthy, if we have a full healthy season from Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, and the rest of the cast, I think a disappointing season would be if we don't reach the Eastern Conference Finals. And even if we do reach the Eastern Conference Finals, I think we have to make it competitive. And for me, competitive looks like a minimum of 6 games against, I think, would be the reigning Eastern Conference champions, the Boston Celtics. I don't think Milwaukee, Miami, Orlando, I don't think any of these other teams are really going to be able to compete for that Eastern Conference Finals position. I was talking to one of my friends offline, and we responded to something on Twitter, just talking about how Julius Randle, the last few seasons, prior to this season that just happened with his injury, prior to this season, he was a 2-time All-NBA player, 2-time All-Star, and in the 2020-2021 season, he was in an MVP conversation. I'm not sure exactly if he was within the 1 through 5 or maybe 6 through 10, but if you're a part of the MVP conversation, you do have to show him some sort of respect. Now, having said that, I do want to give Julius Randle his respect. I do want to give him an opportunity to prove to us Knicks fans that he's able to accept his role. And right now, with the team that has been assembled around him, Jalen Brunson, with the ascension that he's been able to show us, with the trade for Mikal Bridges, with the re-signing of OG Anunoby, with the ascension of Dante DiVincenzo and Josh Hart, I want Julius Randle to have his opportunity to show us how he fits with the rest of the Nova boys, but also I want him to show us what type of leader will he be. Will he be somebody that's going to be complaining about his shot attempts? Will he be somebody that's going to be complaining about the amount of times that he touches the ball in the offense? If I hear any of that nonsense throughout this season, I'm going to be out on Julius Randle. Julius Randle already with his game being predicated on being a ball stopper, being kind of like a Melo season when he was in the MVP conversation. The biggest adjustment that he made to his game was when he caught the ball, he made quick decisions. Caught the ball in the mid-post, caught the ball in the post, and he made decisions. If he was going to face up, drive by the defender, or if he was going to face up and pull up. Julius Randle, I feel like he's been able to adjust his game a bit, and I think that's really going to help the offense with the addition of Mikal and the re-signing of OG, Jalen Brunson with his offensive prowess. I think Julius Randle has a lot to prove to us Knicks fans and a lot to prove to the basketball world with this upcoming season. And this upcoming season is it. Julius Randle, you have to show us that you're a team player. You have to show us that you're going to be able to accept the role of being maybe the number 2 option on a particular night, maybe even being the number 3 option on a particular night. There are going to be certain matchups on particular nights where you're going to be the go-to guy, where Jalen Brunson's going to be the O2 guy. With Mikal Bridges, now he might be the O2 guy. Maybe Dante DiVincenzo coming off the bench. Maybe he's going to be on fire. You got to keep feeding him the ball. This is just something that I'm going to be keeping my eye on with Julius Randle throughout the season. So for this trade, this Bleacher Report mock-up trade between the Dallas Mavericks and the Knicks, even though it does have good pieces that the Knicks would be receiving, a PJ Washington, a Daniel Gafford, I want to give Julius Randle the benefit of the doubt. I think with the amount of work that Julius Randle has put in with the Knicks since he's been with the Knicks, I think we need to give him that. We need to allow him to show us what type of season he's going to have this upcoming season. If he's going to be somebody that's going to be crying and whining about the touches, about the amount of times he's getting the ball, or are we going to have a peaceful season with Julius Randle just hearing reports of him being excited and happy with the offense and how everybody's getting along? This season is a very important season coming up for New York Knicks fans. This could be the first time since the 1999-2000 season where we'll be reaching the Eastern Conference Finals. So we'll see what happens. But guys, that's it for today's video. I want to say thank you so much for checking it out. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about Ian Begley talking about the Knicks. Have took a look into Clint Capela. But also, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this Bleacher Report mock-up trade between the Dallas Mavericks and the New York Knicks. But until next time, you guys know the drill. You know the vibes. Taj Gibson for president. Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs. The deuce is loose. Mikal Bridges for the 2024-2025 Defensive Player of the Year. And until next time, I'll check you out in the next video. Peace.